So a question that we get a lot is, what's the difference between Apple CarPlay and Android Auto? Well, they're different based on the phone that you're using. This is my friend Brian. And what phone do you have, Brian?
I have a Google Pixel 6 Pro.
And I have an Apple iPhone 13 Pro Max. And they do basically the same thing, but they do them differently. So Brian's going to show us what Android Auto looks like, and I'll show you what Apple CarPlay looks like. Let's look at how you use Android Auto in this multimedia system. Plug in your phone.
Sure, so in newer Hyundai and Kia products, you're going to actually have to plug them in for the most part, unless you have a smaller screen. Here we have the larger screen, so you'll plug it into the USB port right up there. It's going to ask you to approve, press OK on the screen there. It's usually going to ask you to say something on your phone as well, but it looks like we're already ready to go, and so you're going to press Android Auto, and it'll take you right there.
So this is something that we don't see on the Apple car phone.
So,
what is that?
so this, in the Hyundais with a wider screen like this, you're going to have what they call, I guess, the toolbar or the menu bar over here on the left. Sometimes it's down the bottom. But you're always going to have the Google Assistant button, which is this microphone with the multicolor. That is going to give you, of course, access to any voice control you want. That's not going to control features of the car like you're going to find in Android Automotive equipped vehicles like the newer GM and Volvos. This is just going to be Google searches or, directions or temperature, weather, things like that. You can ask it to direct you to a destination, but it's not going to say heat up your seat or anything like that. It's not connected to the physical mechanical functions of the car, but it'll do things like tell you a celebrity's birthday, like when is Jim Carrey's birthday, like something like that, and it'll answer it. It'll pull from the internet. You'll of course have to be connected to the internet. We're up here in the Blue Ridge Mountains, so not too good of a signal, but it would answer that question for you, and it would also take you to a destination if you asked it, can you take me here?
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
And that's notifications.
And that's going to be your notifications. This is going to pull up media suggestions, so it's going to pull from your most frequently used audio app, and it's going to give you a couple of options in terms of playlists or radio stations, just so it's a quick way for you to go to those instead of having to go into that app directly.
And there's your Spotify.
And that's my Spotify.
And what is that?
And this will be your app drawer. So you can scroll through that and go through all the Android Auto-based apps. There's not terribly too many, but a couple of these are actually Google Assistant based. So for example, if I want to do weather, that's not going to pull up a 5-day forecast. It's just going to have Google Assistant read it out to you. Of course, if we had a better signal, it would come up quicker, but it'll just say today's weather is blah, 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 blah.
Cool.
It doesn't show any actual data on the screen.
And then, and you can also get Facebook Messenger, which is
Messenger,
nice.
Yeah, Facebook Messenger, the default Android message app. I actually also have Microsoft Teams.
Oh,
yeah, so if you have chats going on in Teams, that's there as well. And WhatsApp. We have WhatsApp as well.
Okay. That's a nice suite.
Customizing your apps on Android Auto is just as simple. On your Android device, go into your settings, and then at the top on the search bar, type in Android Auto. Click on that right there, and that will bring up the settings for Android Auto. Scroll down just a tiny bit and go to Customize Launcher right there in the middle. This is going to bring up the list of all the apps on your phone that are compatible with Android Auto, and as you can see, there are little blue check marks over on the right. Those check marks signify that these apps are activated for Android Auto. But if you scroll down to the very bottom, you'll find that I already have a list of hidden apps that have unchecked those blue check marks. That means that they are removed from the app drawer on Android Auto and will not show up in the system. You can of course uncheck apps further, so whether I just unchecked, that has been added to the list down there, and then you can recheck it to put it back on Android Auto. Then over on the left you have these 6 little dots next to each item. If you click and hold those dots, you can drag the order of the items around like this. But Android Auto also gives you the option to alphabetize, so if you click here, you can do custom order or A to Z, and that will put them in A to Z order. There's also the option to add shortcuts to the app drawer. So for example, you can call a contact. If you click there, you can choose a contact in your contact list, and it will add their contact name to the app drawer. So when you click on it, it'll immediately allow you to call them. You can also add a Google Assistant shortcut. So you click this and it'll allow you to do custom commands. So if you say this particular command that you type in, it will do a particular action for you. Down there at the bottom, it has a few examples of what those might be, like open garage, read my messages, let's go to work, and broadcast to living room speaker. In terms of setting up Android Auto, they make it very easy from the settings here. Here at the top, we've got Connect a Car. It's just going to say, hey, plug in your phone to the USB port that's provided and plug that USB cord into your car. But if you have wireless Android Auto, you also have the option to connect it that way. And this screen shows you how to begin that process.
Sweet. And then there's your Hyundai.
Yep.
If you want to go back to your Hyundai screen, and then you can go to Android Auto.
Right. And depending on the car you're in, sometimes they will give you a full width map, or sometimes they'll split it off like this. So on the left I have Google Maps open, on the right I have Spotify, but if you want to switch these two, you can click into Spotify and it'll swap you back out, and now your Google Maps are over there on the right. Some systems, they don't fill that with anything. Some systems, they just fill it with one app. Here we've got both. So that's nice.
Very cool. And then you can click that to go back. Or click that.
And this button right here will always be the button for the app that's loaded right here. And if you want to go back into the last used app, you'll press that icon. So either do it here or you do it here.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Thank you. Now let's look and see how this is different from Apple CarPlay. So I'm going to plug in my phone for Apple CarPlay, and you might have seen on here before I plugged it in, it says projection phone. That is what this actually is. So if you're looking for your smartphone connection, it is the projection phone. Now it's reading the USB, and there's my Apple CarPlay. So I can unlock my CarPlay. I have to unlock my phone, and this shows my my navigation of where we are. So to get out of that navigation, I actually have to tap this menu, and then my menu looks like this. So I have many of the same apps here. I can find my Amazon Music, Google Maps, WhatsApp, I have that. I have Zoom. And WebEx. It's funny how, and I have Microsoft Teams as well, which is funny because I never use it.
Right.
And here's my Google Map. Can I move that? I don't think I can move those apps.
I believe you can change the layout in the phone. Like you can go on the phone and customize that.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think you're right.
I'm not an Apple
And then
person,
messages, there's my Apple Maps. Apple CarPlay is such a great and useful feature in the car, but did you know that you can customize the apps you see on the screen? Here's how you do it. First, you go to your settings menu. From settings, you're going to scroll down to general. And from general, you're going to click CarPlay right there. When you click that, you will see a list of all the cars you have connected to with Apple CarPlay. Choose the car that you'd like to customize the apps for. The apps are not the same in every single car. They can vary a little bit. So here is a list of the standard apps that are included at the top. They don't have an option to remove them. And then you have all the optional apps. If there's something you'd like to remove, all you do is click that little minus sign and you have the option to remove that app. If you would like to customize the order of your apps, say you really want podcast right up there at the top, then all you do is click the 3 lines and slide it into place. A couple of other nice features. You can allow CarPlay to operate while your phone is locked. That means you don't need to use a code or Face ID to activate your phone. You can also remove a car from your list of CarPlay vehicles. One last thing that we really like in the CarPlay menu is when you open it, you get this little graphic that shows you how to connect your car to wireless Apple CarPlay if your car has that feature. And then here is my Hyundai menu. So if I want to use the built-in navigation, set up my settings for the car or something like that, I have to go back into the Hyundai menu. Whoops, and I want to go to Apple CarPlay. And then my 3 most used are here. The phone is always here. And then if I go to text and then whatever I've used most recently, those show up here. So those are my sort of quick access buttons. And there's my map. And so this is where I put the destination in my phone. I plug my phone in here, and I get the destination come up immediately, which is pretty nice. I do not have that groovy voice assist thing. I'm liking that.
I know. It's
That's
very handy.
cool.
I wish we had some more signal because you could really ask it anything you want.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like I said, if you have a Volvo or a General Motors product which is adding Android Automotive, that is separate from this. This is the smartphone connection version. That is the built-in, like their software is based on Android. That Google Assistant will actually allow you to turn on your heated seats or change the temperature of the air conditioning. This is not going to do that. But
That's very cool.
It still does a lot of other cool stuff.
It does a lot of cool things.
Yeah.
So I really loved the voice assist that you get on Android Auto. That's pretty cool. Apple CarPlay doesn't have that.
You don't even have Siri on there?
I have Siri. I do have Siri, but I don't have the little microphone icon, and I really liked that. That was good.
That is a leg up you get with the Android side of things. Google Assistant is pretty robust.
Yeah. Well, thank you for showing us your Android Auto.
You're very welcome.